Good morning. I'm out here in the flats, if you want to call it that. It's more like a wash, actually. Just finished shooting episodes 9 and 10, or I should say reshooting episodes 9 and 10. And did it in 4 takes. Only screwed up twice, but got the take I wanted. So here are those episodes. Amelia Stories, Part 1, Section 9, Amelia Meets Phil. For the rest of the night, Phil watched Amelia. Mind you, this was 1942, so the idea of creeping just didn't compute. He knew what he saw, which was a woman that he liked, and so he watched. He drank very slowly, nursing his one beer and smoking his trademark stogies. His attention never wavered, it never wandered. Yes, there were other women in the club, but they weren't Amelia. Phil had no place to sleep that night, and as he would later tell me, it never entered his mind. For Amelia's part, she checked back over her shoulder every now and again, but essentially paid that crazy sailor absolutely no mind. Everything must end, and the club began to close. Amelia gathered her things, said her goodbyes, and walked out the door. Phil got his duffel, pretended to drink the last dregs of his beer that he finished an hour ago, and stood to walk out when she walked out. He missed his chance, though, because she walked out with another man. Amelia Stories, Part 1, Section 10, Amelia Meets Phil. Phil got to the door just in time to see Amelia turning the corner alone. That was sort of strange. She was just walking out with some guy. The way he put it, he said, "Remember, this is 1942. It was late. She didn't have a chaperone, so I figured I'd keep an eye on her just to make certain that she got home okay." He kept a safe distance behind her, not too close, but also not so far that he couldn't respond if needed. Amelia got to her bus stop and didn't have to wait for the bus, as it was waiting for her. Apparently, she knew the bus driver. Phil got on the same bus, but she seemingly didn't notice him. She did. She just didn't say anything about it. Clearly, Amelia and the bus driver were friends, and they got involved in a conversation right up until the time that she got off the bus. As Phil would later discover, he was one of Amelia's admirers. Phil slipped past her as she was saying goodbyes to the driver. It was at this point that Phil looked around and went, "Where the hell am I?" I'm getting better with the app. Much better. Anyways, that is it for Section 1, or Part 1. Part 2, I'm just looking at the script and going, yeah, that's not going to work. I need to do a major reworking of the script in order for this thing to not sound like Creepville 6 Ways from Sunday. Because the way it's written right now is I'd say the first 4 episodes of Part 2 are all going to be like, creepy! Yeah, not what I want to do, and not what I want to make my grandfather sound like. Well, he's not actually technically, he's not actually my grandfather. It's the man that I know is Philip Harris, and I should have pointed this out at some point. I think it's in some video somewhere. The man I know as Philip Harris is not, we're not related at all. He's my grandfather by marriage, not genetically. My grandfather is John McClenny, who is my mother's father. Is, he's the guy that basically disappeared when my mother was 6 years old. Is that right? Yeah, 6 years old. So that's all. In case that wasn't clear, it's clear now. What was I talking about? I forget what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah, creepy. Right. I don't want to make my grandfather sound like a creep, because he wasn't. This is a stand-up guy. This is the kind of guy that most women lose their mind over, because they know, and you'll see this in later, many later episodes, which is why I wrote what I wrote, where I don't want to give too much away of the story, but he jumped through hoops for Amelia, and she finally recognized that this guy is so not like her first husband. He's so not like any other man that she'd ever met in her life. He quite literally went the extra mile for her. And boy, did he ever. I'm not going to give too much away of the story, but I got to tell you, what he did to win her heart, and she actually said no to him. Oh my God. It's insane. I mean, she eventually said yes, but obviously, because they ended up getting married. But that's a whole different story for how he actually got her to say yes. I don't want to make him sound like a creep, because he's not. So the first 4 pieces of Part 2 are all, basically my grandfather, the man I know as Philip Harris, my grandfather, he's being really creepy, when in fact, he's not. He's just so enamored with her that he just wants to make certain that she gets home okay so that he can see her again. The way that he explained this to me, and I would love to put this in the video somehow. The way that he explained this to me is, I was so taken with her. His exact words, I was so taken with her. I didn't think about what time it was, where I was, what I was doing. The only thing that I wanted to do was to make certain that she got home okay so that I could see her again. And the mere fact that he was following her home, yeah, it looks like, you know, he's being really creepy. When in fact, he was being really genuine. And she actually, and again, this might be giving away too much. She recognized that, but that's a whole different animal for a whole different day. Alrighty, kitties. So, Dennis, whose hands you're watching right now, fixed my solar. So, dude, all it really needed was a new connector. So he threw in another connector. That part I did in video. What you're seeing him do right now is recrimping the wires for positive and negative so that I can plug in my 8-gauge wire into my MPPT controller. And then he went the extra mile and tied them down onto my box, which I'll show you right now, so that every time that I move the wires, they don't short the system, which is ideally what we're looking for. So let me show you what he did, because it's way cool. I know it's not much, but it is. Look at what he did. So he re-crimped the wires right there and reconnected them. So that now they're flush. And then he used a screw gun to put them in here. So now all I have to do is take out the wires, plug them into my solar panels, and we're good to go. So now I have a functioning solar system at this point. The wires aren't going anywhere, but at some point when I put the damn things on the roof, I'm gonna have to redo that whole thing anyways. So, and I got another nice little surprise today. Melody, again, I'm not showing her on camera. She was making pancakes, blueberry pancakes, my absolute favorite. So if you want to make Miles a very happy camper, blueberry pancakes. However, one step above that is bacon and blueberry pancakes. Guess what she had? Bacon and blueberry pancakes. Talk about a happy Miles, hence the reason you're seeing this. And all, my life is over, I'm gonna die. Wow. A full gullet with blueberry pancakes and ham, bacon. Oh my God. Oh, I'm a happy camper. And there's a chili bake-off today, or a chili off today.
There you go.
That is curry green chili.
Thank you.
That's bean chili, and that's tomato chili. As you can clearly see, who's winning the chili off. I don't want to name names or anything, but that would be Jason, and he's rocking the world, baby. That shit is fucking amazing. Ow! I had some of that, but that is the shit right there. Ow!
Better get over here and eat.
So, you know, there are some pluses to sticking around here today. So, there you go. Wow. Lots done already. And it's only 10:30. I think that's enough yapping for today. Thanks a bunch for watching. I appreciate your time, your patience, and your patronage. And I look forward to seeing you somewhere along somebody's wash somewhere. Oh, as to me getting out of here, yeah, I'm not going anywhere for another day or two. That's just not going to happen. Not until, you know, the end of the month. So that's just what's going to happen. I'm not going to be happy about it, but that's just what's going to happen. So I will hopefully be out of here come January 1st. And then head to Santa Barbara and take myself offline. All right, that is enough yapping for today. Thank you very much for your time, your patience, and your patronage. And I look forward to seeing you somewhere along the road. Bye.